Okay, hello and welcome. This is another fraction of the color correction example. I'm going in another direction now. I'm going to do the more colorful version in the intro example that I showed you. I can just show you here again, just 1 second. Um, so, okay, so something like this out of this is what we are aiming for. First of all, I would like to put in the background. I have this castle background. I just before maybe let me do that here. So castle final paint. I can right click on it and I can say okay, transform and go to fit to comp. Bam. So now it's fitting with the comp. It's fine. So for the princess, I'm working from the 3 combined masks that I did in the other example. To keep track of them, I will select all of them, go to layer and go to pre-compose. This is a way to put all these 3 layers into one new composition. I'll call it princess and I'll just leave this fine and say bam. Okay, so now she's here, which is fine. Okay, you can see I have a little issue with the mask up here as from the other example. So what I want to do is, if I double click my pre-comp, the little thing in here, it'll open up in a new tab and you can see I have access to my original layers. And you can see actually the issue is with the mask in the last part, which then I will go. I have to press M here for the mask selected, and I have a shift click, and I just take that down a little tad, and I'm fine with that. Okay, gone it was. So what I do over in this one will automatically update in this one. Okay. My thing here is, yeah, you can see, of course, I'm cropping her head now, which is not so good, but maybe I can handle that in a funky way. So what I will do, I select the layer, I press S for scale, and I scale her up a little bit. And then I just move her. You can see I move her a little extra to the side also. And now, bam, it's not an issue that we are cropping her head. So she's coming from here and here. I think this could be looked at as like a title sequence. So she will come here and present herself, our main character of the show. Okay, but she looks out of place. Her colors are really off. And I want to add the Lumetri color. You can see I go to effects and presets. I just press Lume to search for it. And when I found the Lumetri color, I'll drag it on my princess. And I'll basically for now just go into basic correction, because what I see here is that she has this orange cast, which is maybe because when the footage was recorded, it was the camera settings were not right, but we'll fix them. So I take down the temperature and I'll do something like that. Okay, so already now she looks much more in space, or like she belongs here. Let's see if I can beware of making her too blue. You can see the contrast here it's kind of flat compared to the background. I could go for the contrast setting here, but I would prefer to close the basic correction and go to the curve section. And basically I'll take the curves, I make an S curve just to see, darken the darker parts and lighten the lighter parts. Something like that. All right. What I have now is, at least she's compared to before. Can see she's matching much better. So what I would like to have is also kind of an effect with the background being a bit blurry. So I pick the castle background here. I go and I search for blur, And for now, I'll just go down and find this Gaussian blur, if I can find that. Here it is. And I'll add it to the bottom layer, and I'll put on a blur just to make it maybe a bit more, make it look like yeah, she's in focus, but the castle around 10, I think, will be fine. Yeah, so that actually gives me a little bit of I can turn this on. Okay, so it actually not doing any harm because I just like the black line in the chair. Okay, good. So what I would like to do now is actually, because still they're not completely in the same area, so maybe I can fix this with adding a color correction to both layers at the same time. So I'm going to add an adjustment layer, new, and adjustment layer, and I'm going back to the Lumetri. There it is, and add it to this adjustment layer. And what I want to try to do now is to go into the creative section, because in here I have different what we call lookup tables or LUTs. This is ready-made. You can call them filters. So it's different kinds of looks where we can go and see. So see if I can find something with a bit blue look to it. So let's see, blue ice. Bam, like that. So suddenly, you know, it's a bit more harmony to how they look, and she definitely. So this was before, and this is after. Now the color scheme has kind of a purpose or a story it wants to tell. So in that way, now we are a completely different place than when we started.